I'm kind of surprised how Elemental... Jeez. Oh my gosh. I'm kind of surprised how Elemental wasn't bombarded with Avatar: The Last Airbender comparisons solely because there's 4 elements and how they all represent different cultures. Well, Ryan the Last Dragon was beaten to death with them, so I probably shouldn't complain. But if no one's gonna do it, then I might as well do it myself. With that said, Elemental is...
Okay!
Look, I'm not the biggest fan of The Good Dinosaur, but when it was announced that Peter Sohn was directing this, I gave him the benefit of the doubt. Good Dinosaur had a troubled production, and I like the concept of Elemental anyway. When the synopsis and first piece of concept art was released, I immediately thought of it as... Pixar's Before Sunrise. It's a bold comparison, I know, but thinking about it like that made me kinda intrigued. People have been trashing this movie leading up to its release, and I don't really know why. I guess it's the blank has emotions formula. I was at the D23 Expo last year where I saw a couple clips like these and I was like, this looks cool, guys, okay? I also got a poster, and I mean, come on, this goes kinda hard. But just like with my Strange World one now, I really don't know what to do with them. Oh, and I also met an old friend of mine who I hadn't seen in years working at the theater I went to, so Sydney, if you're watching this, dare I say it was the best part of the movie-going experience. But let's start with the good stuff first. Of course, Pixar being Pixar, the animation looks great. I love the design of Element City, especially at night, and I think the character models especially are impressive. I remember hearing that everything seen on screen in The Incredibles was a challenge to create, so 20-ish years later and we have details on characters like Ember and Wade constantly moving is quite the feat. I also like how they're able to shapeshift and contort themselves. We get some pretty interesting character animation from this, and I think Ember and all the other Far people look a little 2D, like with their outlines, and I thought that was kinda cool. I'd read before seeing the movie that Peter Sohn based this off his experience of growing up with immigrant parents, and I think that's also cool. So I was aware of the interracial and immigrant angles going in, though I didn't know they were going to lean into the latter that hard. The first scene is Ember's parents arriving to Element City and having their names essentially Americanized at the border. Man, I didn't think this movie was going to be that real. And if I really am going to compare this to something Avatar related, Element City is basically Republic City from The Legend of Korra. A whole melting pot of different elements, but without the political stuff, I guess. I think if I had to choose a favorite character, it would be Ember. She herself is a metal and glass bender and even fuels a hot air balloon, and I thought they were pretty well utilized. I just know the Pixar animators spent hours watching glass blowing videos, and it shows. It was really satisfying to watch. She fixes a display case in her dad's shop and even creates some pretty works of art like a vase and this flower thing that's kind of important to the store, but I kind of forgot what it's called. She also has some cute jackets that I'm sure will be selling for $100 a pop on the Shop Disney website sometime soon. She's not super complex or anything, but hey, I just really like when female characters find their agency. There were a few scenes that were really pretty to watch on the big screen. Seeing the one with Ember and the different colored crystals was great, and later in the movie, Wade takes Ember to see that flower I forgot the name of by creating an air bubble for her. I love my big romantic gestures. That might be it. Everything else was kind of lukewarm for me. Like, there's this pop song in the middle of the movie, and it wasn't licensed, thankfully, but I mean, it just felt weird coming from Pixar. I honestly didn't really buy into Wade and Ember's romance. Jesse and Celine were way too high of a bar for them to pass. One could say they didn't have much chemistry. They did have a steamy romance, but only in the most literal way possible, and it was like they were falling in love because the script told them to. It's a pretty standard rom-com structure, which pains me to say since I discovered when I got home that one of the writers for this film co-produced a number of my favorite How I Met Your Mother episodes, particularly in season 3 and especially season 2. Like, holy crap, does season 2 of How I Met Your Mother slap. The fact that 2 of the most iconic running gags in the show had their start in the same episode, that's peak TV sitcom, baby. Anyway, I'm kinda gonna contradict myself here and say that while I love big romantic gestures like the one Wade and Ember had, if I was more emotionally invested in their relationship, I probably would have had more of a reaction than, oh, that's pretty. Like, it sounds better on paper, you know what I mean? Even with something like Intergalactic, which crossed my mind a couple times while watching Elemental. Even though there were a number of rom-com tropes, I thought Jabari and Meadows' relationship was paced a lot more naturally, and their connection was what won me over. I will say I also like stories where the two main characters can't make physical contact with one another, which made me think of The Girl from the Other Side too. While not a romance story, obviously, I felt like there was more at stake since we could see what could happen if Sensei and Shiva touched, and also because they formed a connection that felt a lot more palpable, despite its runtime being shorter than Elemental's, which is kinda sad. I want to touch on spoilers because there's this part in the final act that kind of bugs me, so skip to the next chapter if you feel like it. I'm getting sick of Pixar feeling they're contractually obligated to have an ending that makes you cry. I mean, yeah, we didn't have one with Lightyear last year, but I mean, come on, that's Lightyear. Did we really need to have a fake out death with Wade? I didn't believe it, sorry. Those water drops, his steam being stuck in the ceiling and having to drop down in a pot, and the crying thing was clever, I guess. Oh, what was up with Ember's purple fire thing? So she blows up at a customer near the beginning. She glows purple, which is kinda neat, but then it follows up with 2 regulars saying they've never seen someone that purple before. With this scale, they move almost to the extreme, but not quite. So I thought, oh, so this is a setup. She's gonna have like a massive one in the 3rd act or something. No. No. She just glows purple when she gets mad. They just forgot to bring that back for something important. Alrighty then. I knew going in that I was gonna like this more than Lightyear, which my post-Elemental viewing self can confirm. I felt a lot more creativity and just overall energy coming from Elemental, especially that crystal scene, but Lightyear just felt so blah. And I feel bad for the director, Angus McLean, because he was working at Pixar for so long, like 20 years, finally got to direct his first feature-length movie last year, and then he got laid off a couple weeks ago. Overall, when it comes to the Pixar films from this decade, I'd rank Elemental at about number 4. Has more creativity than Onward and Lightyear, yet isn't as engaging as Soul and Luca. 6 out of 10. Yeah. There's no denying that Pixar is in a rough patch right now, with Chapek being Chapek during the pandemic and everyone just being used to Pixar movies being released on Disney Plus, resulting in the studio's 2nd worst 3-day opening weekend ever, and Across the Spider-Verse still going strong. I knew releasing this so close to it would be a death blow, but I still kind of feel bad for them. I don't think this is
the end of Pixar as we know it.
All studios have their ebbs and flows. Remember how Sony was doing a year before Spider-Verse? It's natural. Dare I say it's even healthy. It just means that competitors are trying something new and seeing good things come out of it. Just because they've been out the longest, I don't think that means Disney and Pixar have to stay on top 24/7 for the rest of history. But if they do want to stay up there, they're gonna have to change at least something. I can't really remember the last time I was genuinely hyped for a Pixar movie on the same levels of Spider-Verse or even Raya and Frozen 2. Yeah, I said it. But I look forward to them anyway, because if you like animation, it feels like you kinda have to. Come on, guys, give us your version of Spider-Verse. Something that shakes up the animation industry, like what you did with, I don't know, Toy Story? If they keep doing what they're doing, it's gonna be even harder for them to get out of this rut. I don't want to end up with the 2nd sequel era. Well, even if we do, it's nice that I still have Across the Spider-Verse. I'm just saying, Hobie wouldn't approve of this.
It's a metaphor for capitalism.
If Sony lets them delay Beyond and treat the crew members fairly, then we'll be fine. Animation in general is in a bit of a rough patch, isn't it? Anyway, go see Elemental in theaters if you want to. Or see Spider-Verse for a 3rd time instead, that's fine too. Be sure to comment, like, subscribe, join my Patreon to support my channel, follow my social medias, and I'll see you later.